Hello everybody, it is Christine. It is time for a scrapbook process video, and this is a twofer because as you guys know I'm behind, and so I'm trying to do two things at the same time here. This is going to be Iron Crafter, which she told us to use embossing powder and a die cut. I'm going to have to go get, now that I just said that, I do have my Versamark. I got to go grab some embossing powder, and which means I need to remember what I did with it. It's in a basket. What have I done? I'll find it. Anyway, I got a new Versamark. And then I've got the 30 Days of Sketches, Day 21 by Linda. Sweetheart of a lady, by the way. She's got like a big picture here and then 3 little elements down here with a title up here. I'm really debating on this one because I have this photo I want to do because I have like this little set here. It's Echo Park's Happy Place, Our Happy Place. But it's got these books here, and I'm reading a book. So I'm debating on this because I needed to kind of go this way, so that might still work. I'm just going to have my photo be maybe a little different. So I guess my point is I'm going to be inspired by this, but it may not be exactly the same. I need to go find a title too. Oh, and I was supposed to use a die cut. That was the other thing. Die cut. So I pulled these out. She said you could use a cut file or a die cut. I use dies to cut these. I don't think this color palette's going to work. It's got the blue in it, which isn't really here, but the orange will work. So I think I'm going to use these 2 little butterflies because why not? Got flowers. That's my intention at this point. I may have to run off and get into scraps at some point. I'm not certain because of this. We'll see. We'll see what I can figure out here. This is from November 24, the Scrap and Flavors of the Month as well. I've used this before recently. And then, like, here's the stamps. I think I picked the butterflies because I also found, like, these butterfly stamps. It's old Stampin' Up! Stuff, you guys. And I think I'm going to stamp this in, like, a solid ink. And this will be the embossed part. And because it's like a double stamp, and you put it over the top. Actually, you could do these ones, too. I don't know yet what I'm going to do exactly. That might be where I do, some of this stuff, maybe. Maybe I do a row of butterflies at the bottom. That could be cute. I might do that. Oh, just got inspired. Okay. Let me go find my embossing powder, and I'll be back on in a second. Well, you guys, it took me a minute, but I did find it. It is in a basket. I just couldn't remember. I don't have it grouped properly, if I'm honest. So I have all these multiple shelves, and I have like a shelf that has a bunch of my thickers on it. The shelf I found my embossing powder on was the shelf underneath that, but I have all my card stuff there. So why in the world I had the embossing powders over there is beyond me, because I have my mixed media on the right-hand wall over here. Y'all, it's organized, but not, you know what I mean? So I've got my white cardstock framed out with that. I had gone off into my stash and pulled out that orange kind of tone-on-tone paper because I thought it went with the books inside the print of the book print. And then also I thought the orange butterfly looked kind of pretty with it. So I say orange. It may be more of a coral or something. But anyway, I framed out my white cardstock. I did actually gut that, which is funny because I ended up not using the gutted center. I meant to on my photo and I completely forgot. So, oops. Here's where I'm making the little fishtail banners that she had shown on the sketch. And I put the green behind it. I thought that was pretty. Hers actually showed kind of a top and bottom bands on the top and bottom papers where I have the other books. But I don't actually do top and bottom, but I will actually add a branding strip underneath the bottom one. I glued this down. I don't know. Y'all, I was having such difficulty with this darn T-square. No good reason. The initial thing I did is I glued that band down, and I go, well, that's entirely too high, so I had to fix that. Luckily, I only used like a little bit of ATG behind it initially, so I'll scooch that down just a little bit. And then I will cut these little straps of the book papers. I'm going to have to cut off, is that a 1/2 inch? I think it's a 1/2 inch. And then I'll put those in the tops and bottoms, and that's when I'll see the branding strip I use on the bottom down there is actually the one from the orange or the coral paper. I had trimmed it, and I had it laying to the right-hand side of me over there, and I look over and I go, hey, that's pretty, and I can use that. So I'm going to end up grabbing that in just a moment. I do like this butterfly a lot. I think this is a great die. I need to make more of those. I think that's the last one of those I have, and that's a really great butterfly cutout. I think that's really pretty. Here's where I decided to go ahead and mount my photo. Now, again, on the sketch, it's kind of it's like a 4x6, horizontal 4x6. So my photo is going to be less, girthy. It's going to be a little more, I am going to triple mat it so it adds a little bit of width to it, but ultimately it's going to be a little less girthy. So I'm going to actually add some stickers when I get that. So let's see. What am I doing now? Oh, I guess I'm just mounting that mounting the photo on the paper there. Let's see. I'm sorry. I just got a text and I'm laughing. My friend said, I can't go into Walmart. And I'm like, oh, did you get banned? They're like, no. But I'm always wanting to take somebody out. I kind of get it. You know, there's always somebody that doesn't pay attention. They're going toward. I had a lady the other day. I was walking down the middle part, and this lady was kind of on the far, like, I always imagine it's a little bit like a car, like you're driving, and now, Chris, this is only U.S., you guys, so if you're somewhere else, which I know I have other folks, you know, we drive on the right-hand side. So generally speaking, from a courtesy standpoint, many times in a store, you're going to push your buggy on the right-hand side. It's just, I think it's just the way our brains work, right? And this woman, I'm going along, we're not even having a buggy, but we're all walking on the right-hand side, and this woman's got her buggy, and she's on the left-hand side, so she's coming down our side, and we couldn't go anywhere because of it just was a bit congested, let me put it that way. And she was just not going to move. She was going her way, man. And it was like, dang, lady. Anyways, so that was the text I got that made me laugh. So here I am. I got my little book papers down, and I've got the little die cuts. I'm kind of planning them. I haven't glued them down. I'm kind of looking. The next thing I'm going to do, though, I thought about this blue paper as a mat, and I decided against it because I have the green, and it's kind of on the green of the band, but I just decided, yeah, I'm going to leave it alone. It's fine. So the next thing I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to start doing my stamping and embossing, okay? So I will tell you, I have a little tool that helps me line these up. These are old school wood stamps. They are, you know, double stamped, so it's a little tricky because you're supposed to stamp the base, and then you're supposed to stamp the little texture on top. Like I said, I have a little tool that would help me align these perfectly, but I didn't really worry about it because I just don't even care. I just was doing what I wanted to do, and it's an awful hair, but you know what? Once it's just embossing powder, it's not the dots themselves, like inked. So, you're going to see me kind of do that. I'm going to kind of like look and try to, I cut these apart because I knew I was going to use two different, stamps, and I almost thought I was going to use two different colored embossing powders, but I decided to stick with the same embossing powder. I go with a gold. It's called Ancient Gold by Ranger. I do not know if these are still made. I haven't a clue. I got it at Hobby Lobby, but it's called Ancient Gold, and I thought it was kind of pretty on top of the colors here. And I got a green. I did use Stampin' Up! Ink. It's kind of older. There's a Calypso Coral, and then I think that's I forgot the green color name. I think they were seasonal anyway, so I doubt you can get them today. But I'm going to stamp my Versamark on top of my pattern, and then do my gold embossing powder. And then you're going to see me in a second. I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to start to try to use my hand to hold the paper. And I realized pretty quickly, you guys, these heat guns are hot. So yeah, that's something I'm going to not do. So I grab my little tweezers here. Now I come from behind. That's a trick, by the way, because if you do it from the top, sometimes it'll blow your dust off, you know, your gold, your embossing powder off. So if you come from behind, a lot of times it'll melt it for you, and without blowing it off, and then you can always come back on the front side if you need to kind of finish it off. But I did that, and I'm going to do the other colors in just a sec. I'm going to cut away. I'm not going to make you watch all of this. Embossing is not one of those techniques I do very often. I used to, especially with cards. I used to have all kinds of colors and everything. My mother loved embossing. There was one that had like the texture was a little bit like velvety, and she would do those, but it's been a while since I've really messed with that. So the other good thing is with that particular stamp, I actually had the punch that went with it. So in a moment, you're going to see me start laying those down, and it's like they're punched out. And so that was the other reason I kind of chose those, because I was kind of happy to punch instead of, fussy cut. Here's me trying to glue this little butterfly down. I do use ATG. His body was a little bit thicker. On the other one in the top up there, I'm going to end up using Nuvo glue. The other thing I did is I get the pink font, because I saw there was little pink books, and so I thought, okay, I'm going to use pink as my, I was trying to figure out what color I could use different, but I ended up with Take Me Away. I think that's really a great title for when you're reading, because when you get into, especially fiction for me, you get in there and it's a whole new world, right? It's just a whole new thing, and a whole new land or whatever. I used to read all the time. Like I read all the time. I'd stay up late at night and read and this and that. And I hadn't really read in a long time. And I don't know what, the other day, my daughter and I had gone to a bookstore. That's what it was. And I thought, I'm going to pick up some books. And I picked up 3 books. They're like part of a series this lady had recommended. We were in the bookstore, and she's like, if you like, the what do they call it, romantasy or something like that. This is a good series. So I picked them up. And of course, y'all on TikTok, and people are always recommending books and stuff. So I've got a couple more coming. And I'm really kind of enjoying it. I hadn't done it in a long time, and I go, this is so nice. And, You know, you can just sit there and read that. In my hand, I have a cup of tea. It's a little hot tea. So nice evening, just calming, you know, getting ready for bed and stuff like that. So basically, I just said, take me away. I will add some journaling in the lower left. She had the journaling in the middle. I'm going to switch it. Like I said, this is a inspired by sketch versus me following exactly. So that's why you're seeing a little bit difference here. But I still love this. I think this is so cute. I love the band and all that kind of stuff. So thank you, Linda, for this sketch. Let me see what else. I got the stickers going on here. I'm just putting like some little furniture pieces because I'm sitting on the couch and everything like that. So I thought that could be cute. As you can see, I've got those butterflies glued down there at the bottom. That's kind of taking the place of like the 3 little squares in a way. The butterflies at the top up there taking the place kind of the little floral pieces she kind of drew. And I'm just putting a few little wordy bits here. She didn't really show anything like that, but they're cute. And it's live life and your home or something like that. One says welcome. I'm not really sure why, but that's the ones I liked. So that is all I'm going to do this layout after I get the journaling down here. You'll see it up on the over on the left-hand side over there. And yeah, that's it. That's my Iron Crafter and my 30 days of sketches. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check out the playlists. I'll have those in the description. And of course, do the like and subscribe stuff, all the fun. I'm not going to catch up. There's just no I'm catching up. But I definitely will, place videos on the channel a couple a week at least, and if not more. So we will see you next time. Bye.